I'm not teaching, I'm publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for Life in the UK test for 261, British comedy. While doing morning stretching, and if you participate in the morning stretching, that's at your own risk. So British comedy. The traditions of comedy and satire and the ability to laugh at ourselves are an important part of a UK character. We already had with there were satires which Gilligan and Sullivan wrote, or something like that. I don't know. There's also a strong tradition of musical theatres in the UK. In the 19th century, Gilbert and Sullivan wrote comic operas, often making fun of popular culture and politics. These operas include HMS Pinafore, The Pirates of Penzance, and Mikado. So, comedy and satire is important in the United Kingdom, and also the ability of the people of the United Kingdom to laugh at themselves is an important part of the United Kingdom. And to the important part of the UK character, where we had to cricket, that the idiosyncratic nature of the game and its complex laws are said to reflect the best of the British character and sense of fair play in cricket, and now to the ability to laugh at themselves. That is an important part of the character of the people of the United Kingdom. Let's do some morning stretching. If you participate in the morning stretching, let us sit on this. The legs are standing wide apart and we're breathing in and going down. And out. Again in. And out. And again in. And out. Again in. And out. And another round, breathe in. And out. Again in. And out. Now breathe in and close the legs. And out. Now we're having the legs a bit more shorter wide apart standing. Breathing in and lifting the arms up. And we're breathing out and we're going to the side. And now breathe in and open the rib cage. And again out. And again in. And out into the middle. Breathe again in. And out over to the other side. Breathe in and out the rib cage. And out back into the middle. And next exercise, same setup, we're breathing in. And out, and one hand slides down the leg and the other shoulder stays down. And breathe in. And out, we're taking the arm over. Breathe again in and open rib cage. Out. And breathe again in. And out. And the other side, breathe in. And out, one hand slides down the leg and the other shoulder stays down. Breathe again in. And out the arm over. Breathe in and open rib cage. Again out. And again in. And out into the middle. Now next exercise, the aeronautic aerobatic aeroplane. We're breathing in and lifting the arms up. And we're breathing out, one hand comes down. Breathe in and reach to both ends. And again out. Breathe again in. And out, one arm comes down. Breathe in and reach. And out, the hand again up. Breathe again in. And out, one hand down. Breathe in and reach. And out. And the last time, breathe in. Out, one hand down. Breathe in and breathe. And out. Let's end the morning stretch. The legs are standing wide apart. We're breathing in. And out and we're hanging down. Only help to come deeper down by breathing deep in through the nose into the chest. And by breathing out through the mouth. Again, in. And out. Again, in. And out. And again, in. And out. And in. And out over to one leg. Breathe again in. And out. And again in. Out over to the other leg. Breathe again in. And out. Again in. And out into the middle. We're closing the feet. And we're breathing again in through the nose into the chest. And out through the mouth. And in. And out. Again in. And out. And the last time in. And out, we're coming slowly up with a round back and making it the top and backwards shoulder roll. Now, the closing exercise, the legs are standing wide apart. We're breathing in and going down. And out. Again in. Out. Again in. And out. Again in. And out. Now breathing in, close the legs. And out. And we're done with morning stretching. So British comedy and satire is important, and the ability to laugh at themselves is important of a British character. Medieval kings and rich nobles had jesters who told jokes and made fun of people in the court. So in the medieval times there were jesters, and they were telling jokes, and they made fun of other people at the court for amusement. That was in the past. Later, Shakespeare included comic characters in his plays. So Shakespeare had written about ordinary man and woman, and also plays about real situations with kings and queens, sometimes fictionalized or dramatized. It's not the same. Not the same, but it's similar. And he included in his plays comic characters. In the 18th century, political cartoons attacking prominent politicians and sometimes the monarch or other members of the royal family became increasingly popular. So as I already said, the art is very free in the United Kingdom since a long time. So 750, for example, there were political cartoons attacking prominent politicians. So they were pointing out what the person doing the cartoon thinks is wrong, what the politician person does. And also sometimes about the monarch or other people of the royal family. Critique is expressed in the form of art, already in the 18th century. And they became increasingly popular. In the 19th century, satirical magazines began to be published. So 1850, 1860, the first magazines, so basically something like that, were coming out, and in them satire was made. I don't feel completely able to explain what satire is right now, that's why I'm not explaining it. But it's in a way making fun of things, but also presenting them in a bit surreal way. I'm not really able to explain it, but at least with the idea of what it is. So it's not an object, it is not something, it is the way to show something in art. And it's a bit surreal, maybe a bit comedy by it. it points out sometimes things which are wrong. It plays a bit also with the audience. I'm not really able to explain it right now. The most famous was Punch, which was published for the first time in the 1840s. So in the 1840s, there came a magazine out, and its name was Punch, and in it were made satire about politicians, maybe sometimes the monarch or something like that. Today, political cartoons continue to be published in newspapers, and magazines such as Private Eye continue the traditions of satire. So there are still today coming out to political cartoons, so basically comics. So there are basically things drawn onto the paper which resembles the human brain to humans. So there are people painted, and they are saying some things or something like that, and it is then made in satire, maybe a bit comedy. Satire is, if you know nothing, a bit like comedy, but it points more, bit more like criticism. But it doesn't have to be criticism, I think. So there are still today coming out political cartoons, and one magazine which does it is, for example, The Private Eye. So two magazines, The Punch in the 1840s, popular, and today The Private Eye. Now we will continue in the next part with British comedy. For now, I thank you very much, and at the next time.